Do you currently struggle with trauma and you need some support during your healing process? Well, in this episode, I am going to do a guided meditation to help support the body during your healing process from trauma. I'm also going to give a brief explanation of what trauma is and what kind of symptoms that you might relate to during your healing journey. Hello, I'm Leah Petrucci, and I am a licensed mental health counselor and a holistic health and lifestyle coach. And this is tonight's live stream, an episode of the Online Gathering Place, an online platform where you can come to get support for your body and your mind, calm your nervous system, reduce anxiety, and oftentimes even help you prepare for a good night's sleep. If you're on the East Coast, these live streams are at 7 p.m. And it's a great way to help get your body prepared to start winding down for a good night's sleep, especially tonight's episode where we're going to do a nice, relaxed, guided meditation. If you're someone that struggles with meditation and you need that support, then this video is for you. Sometimes meditation can be challenging because we often have unrealistic expectations of what we think that meditation is supposed to be. And I'm going to go over a little bit of that as well in this episode. So first, I'm going to give a brief explanation of what is trauma. We hear that word often in our society, trauma. And we also hear the term PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. And sometimes we might get the two confused. We might not understand the difference between the two. So what I am referring to in this video when I say trauma is simply the word wound. If you think about trauma, go back to the Greek roots of the word trauma, which is simply a wound. So think about a time when you were wounded in some way. And that could be physically, it could be emotionally, psychologically, financially, sexually, spiritually. There are so many ways that we can experience trauma. Oftentimes in our society, when we think of trauma, we immediately associate that with the bigger things like 9/11 or the death of someone or war. Combat veterans. And we might only think that trauma is something that those people who've been through those experiences experience, but that is not the case. In fact, every single person who's breathing air, who lives on this planet, has experienced some type of trauma. It could be what we call little t trauma, like some examples of little t trauma are moving, a geographical location, maybe a breakup or a divorce, maybe losing a home to foreclosure. Those types of things are traumas. They're wounds. But we tend to put them in the category of what's called little t traumas. And then we have what's called big T traumas, which are the examples that I gave before. So things like 9/11, maybe being mugged, being sexually assaulted, going to war, the death of a loved one. Those tend to be referred to as big T traumas. But in my personal opinion, it's in the eye of the beholder of what that person's experience is and how they relate to that trauma, what they experience in their body and in their mind and in their spirit. So the meditation that I am going to lead this evening is really for all of those things. Any wound that you have ever experienced, maybe it's something that you're currently dealing with. Maybe it's something that happened in the past that you still are struggling to heal from. And you get these physical symptoms in the body. You get this nervous system dysregulation. You may have experience things like anxiety. You may struggle to go to sleep at night. You may struggle to connect with people. You may struggle to concentrate, to focus on your day-to-day tasks. You may even avoid certain things that remind you of that particular experience where you felt wounded. And it can be very frustrating to deal with day-to-day tasks and get the things done that we need to do when we struggle with those traumatic memories, those body sensations that we may get when we're reminded of that trauma. And just to give some examples of those types of things that we may feel in our body, we may get a heightened sense of heart rate may increase, our blood pressure may increase. We may get clammy skin. We may have trouble speaking. Our throat may dry up. Our stomach may tighten up. We may get those butterflies in our stomach. We may just have a hard time relaxing. Maybe our muscles are just so tight, we just can't relax, and we just can't get a good night's sleep. So this is all of those things are great times to do this meditation. And the beauty of this is that it's recorded. So you can always go back and replay this meditation anytime you're experiencing any of those things. And you just need some help calming down your nervous system. So let's get right into it. And then afterwards, we can process what that brought up for you and what to do. What's the next step? How to get further help from there. All right, give me just a moment and I am going to pull up the meditation. And while I'm doing that, I want you to just get in a comfortable position. Maybe take a sip of water, get nice and hydrated, which I'm going to do as well. Maybe even grab your favorite essential oil if you like essential oils. I definitely do. The sense of smell is so great to help relax the nervous system. I specifically love this scent called geranium from doTERRA. And if you would like, I will put some links in the notes where you can get your hands on some doTERRA products at a little bit of a discount. All right. Pull this up. So get nice and comfortable. If you would like to lay down, you can lay down. If you'd like to sit up, you can sit up. If you'd like to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If you'd like to keep your eyes open, you can do that as well. This is your meditation, and you do what you feel comfortable doing. All right. Just going to rub my hands together, just generate a little bit of warmth. If you'd like to do that as well, I invite you to join me. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Sometimes I just like to put my hands on my heart or just on my chest area, or maybe even my stomach or my legs. You do what you feel comfortable doing. So as you listen to this exercise, please remember that you are in control of your experience and you can do as much of it or as little of it as you wish, no matter what kind of trauma you may have gone through. When I gave those examples earlier of what we might refer to as little t traumas or big T traumas, it really doesn't matter. Whatever that trauma meant to you, it was painful. And that is the general definition of trauma, is wound. It wounded you. It was painful. It was something that caused distress. Whether it was large or small, whether it was physical or sexual, emotional, spiritual, or even financial. Your trauma involves an incapacity to stop a terrible thing from happening to you and almost continuing to happen to you. Oftentimes we may relive those memories of that trauma. It can be very distressing. And regardless of blame or misfortune, it involves an incapacity to stop something terrible from happening to you. Sometimes this truth can wear on the psyche, can wear on the mind, can wear on the body. So recovering from this trauma may require that at some point you increase greater strengths and more capacities within you to remember how powerful that you are and how important your decisions are. And in this general way, it also may be useful to continue work with a therapist, and I'll talk more about that at the end of the meditation. But on your own, with good guidance, it's good to know that along with your trauma, there may be some natural common feelings or beliefs. You may experience things like immobilization, feelings of helplessness, feelings of despair, feelings of grief. To some degree, you may not feel like you can escape those feelings. But one thing that has helped thousands of other people who have lived with incredible trauma is to be mindful of your own experiences, and that's something that we call agency, or simply being able to make something happen with your own free will and sense of empowerment. And that's what I'm going to instill upon you in this meditation, is building upon our own agency, or our ability to make something happen when we feel unmanageable or we feel out of control, when that trauma triggers us. We can incorporate our own free will and what's called agency, which is a sense of empowerment, building upon our own agency one building block at a time until there is nothing that you feel that you can't take on, with your embodied strength and kindness that is always inside of you. And when I say embodied, I mean in your body, what you feel in your body. Sometimes we feel sensations when we're triggered by trauma that we feel we can't control. And this meditation is an example of how we can take back control of our body and our nervous system with continued practice. Another common feature of trauma is feeling fearful of communicating with confidence or assertiveness. And so reflecting on experiences when we have done this before, when we remember times in the past when we have been able to regain control of our life, where we have been able to communicate with confidence and assertiveness. It helps to remember times where we were able to do that, to know that we have the capacity to take on challenges with strength. And this provides the mind with the belief that you are greater than your past, bigger than anything that has happened to you, and that you are not your trauma. You are so much more, and that you can shape your future to be as bright and healthy as you desire. Agency is just a fancy term for a feeling of being able to make things happen. So if you have moments where you feel a bit powerless or helpless or trapped, immobilized, even defeated or despair, then this practice of agency can help turn the tide, to reawaken the feeling of what it's like to make things happen for you, rather than being fearful of what might happen next. So, with all of that in mind, we're going to practice feeling a sense of agency in a guided meditation mindfulness exercise. And mindfulness is simply being aware or being mindful of what's going on in your body, in your mind, in your thoughts, in your emotions, in the different sensations that you may experience. That's all mindfulness is. A lot of you may have heard the term mindfulness and think it's something fancy. It's really not. It's simply just being mindful, being aware through our senses, our five senses, our sight, our sound, our touch, our taste, and our hearing. So let's incorporate all of those senses if you can. Now, remember I said earlier, if you have some essential oil, that's a great way to incorporate some sense of smell. And our sense of smell, our olfactory gland, which is our second cranial nerve, when we inhale a nice scent like an essential oil. It goes directly to the limbic system, which is the part of the brain that controls our emotions. And we feel a certain type of way. Usually when it's a pleasant scent, it brings on positive emotions. If it's not a pleasant scent, it might bring on some negative emotions. So if you have something handy that is a pleasant scent, doesn't have to be an essential oil. It could be a food. It could be coffee beans. It could be a piece of a fruit, a flower, anything that you might have that you like the smell of. But if not, that's okay too. So I want you to just reflect on a time in your life when you have felt really good about having attained a goal. Just bring that to mind. When you felt really good about having attained a certain goal. Maybe that goal was becoming a mother or a parent. Maybe that goal was graduating from high school or college. Maybe it was starting your own business, whatever it is. What's something in your life that you felt really good about? Did it make you feel really proud, accomplished? Just get in touch with the feelings that brought on for you. What choices and actions did you take to make that goal happen, to accomplish that goal? Maybe if it was, something educational, you studied really hard. You went to class. You sacrificed some free time to put into getting that degree. Maybe the same with a business. Maybe the same with parenting a child. You worked hard and you sacrificed your time and energy. What were some of the things, the little things too, that led up to that? Just seeing what comes to mind for you. And now reflect on some things that you get done over the course of a day. What are some little things that you don't think are a big deal, but are a big deal? The daily tasks that we do on a day-to-day basis. Paying bills, for example. Going to our job, getting through our work day. Connecting with people, connecting with loved ones. So recall ways that you may, in your day-to-day life, influence other people. Maybe you have friendships that you put a lot of time and energy in. Maybe it's a child. Maybe it's a partner. Maybe it's a romantic partner. Or maybe you play some other kind of leadership role. Maybe you're a business owner or just your manager at your job. Think of ways that you play an influential role in your family, your friendships, or even your business. And bring mindfulness, just simple awareness, to some of the positive choices that you've made. All of the empowering experiences that have led to a greater feeling of accomplishment, or that word agency. Remember, the agency means the ability to make something happen. And just see if you can open up to this feeling of agency, where you can recall a time when you felt in control and you felt empowered by the things that you did and the decisions that you made. And just let those feelings and those memories, just let it fill you. And just allow it to fill your mind and even your heart. And just notice maybe the sensations that you're experiencing in your body as you recall those times where you felt accomplished. Times when you have made things happen, when you have been competent, when you have been effective, and that you will continue to be so. And just continue to breathe in and out naturally. And just bring mindfulness or awareness to any other feelings that may arise, like maybe dignity, maybe integrity, when you recall those things that you're really proud of, maybe self-respect, or a sense of possibility. What's possible? If I did those things, what else could I be capable of doing? And I also want you to notice any resistance that you may feel to this sense of success and self-worth right now. And it's okay if you do, if you're feeling any resistance to that. That is completely normal. Sometimes we fight against our own success, and we do self-sabotage. That inner saboteur may show up and may try to negate the good things that we have done in our life. Or maybe we have that voice of, oh no, it really wasn't that big of a deal. But it really was. It was. And it is a big deal. See if you can gently bring your mind back to remembering some of the good feelings after you did something that you were really proud of doing. And just focus in on the feelings of accomplishment. And remember that you can tap into this feeling at any time. Anytime you feel discouraged or powerless or immobile, you can use this sense of agency, which again means when we can make things happen and regain control. You can also sense what it will be like to accomplish more down the line. What are some things that you would like to accomplish? Maybe you have felt held back by your trauma, your anxiety, maybe you felt depressed, maybe you've had some low moods, some overwhelm, and you felt held back. These are times when it can be helpful to recall that sense of accomplishment and remember the things that you were capable of and are capable of. And even the little tasks of the day, when you feel satisfied with meeting your daily goals, maybe when you get that sense of satisfaction by crossing off something on your to-do list and you get that instant rush of dopamine, that sense of accomplishment that contribute to your overall well-being and the well-being of others. Just be open to the reality that you can build on a foundation of what you've already done and you've already accomplished. And just let those thoughts spread through your mind and your body and just release any pressure. Just any pressure to feel a certain type of way. If there's a sense of fragility, maybe you feel really fragile. Somewhere in your consciousness, it can be useful to imagine a nurturing person, maybe someone in your life that is loving and caring and nurturing. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a partner, maybe it's a child, maybe it's a family member. Just imagine someone who is very nurturing, who is just holding you, giving you a nurturing, nice hug. And that person is reassuring you that you will reach your goals. You can go ahead and do that right now. Just give yourself some self-hug or some nurturing touch. You can start by crossing your arms and just grabbing onto the shoulders. And just squeeze at the top of the shoulders. And then you can kind of work your way down. And just imagine that you have a nurturing person there with you that's just giving you a nice nurturing hug. You can just work your way down the elbows. This is what's called nurturing touch. You can go back up. Work your way back up to the tops of the arms, the shoulders, as you just imagine someone there who cares about you and who has recognized your accomplishments and maybe even been there for you and helped you make those accomplishments a reality. Just think of them as they reassure you that you will reach your goals. And that might help you to reassure yourself that you can reach your goals and that you are special and powerful and that you can get things done and you can make a difference. And if that felt good to you, then please continue to do the nurturing touch. And as we close out this meditation, I just want you to remember that along with your trauma, there may be natural, common feelings or beliefs of immobilization or fear or helplessness. But you can always recall that sense of agency, which again is just a fancy term for a feeling of being able to make things happen. And to cultivate a sense of agency, and that you can always remember, go back in time to when you felt a sense of accomplishment, sense of success, or just paying attention to the little things that you accomplish each day that make a difference to yourself and make a difference to people around you, people that love you. And let's do one more little piece of movement to just get the nervous system nice and relaxed. So as you are holding your elbows here, one arm in the pit of one elbow and same with the others, just cross your arms like so. And then we're just gonna move them from side to side. Just a gentle movement that's very calming to the nervous system. And if you want, as you turn your arms one way, you can gently turn your head the other. And just continue to breathe in and out as you do that. Let's go to the other side. And if you need to put your arms down, you can do that too. I'm feeling the need to grab onto my shoulders right now. So it's been a long day. And I just need to just massage my neck just a little bit. So I invite you to do whatever you feel that your body is calling you to do. If you feel that you need to do the same, or maybe you feel you need to crack your neck like I just did. And the other side. I don't know if y'all heard that. Maybe you feel the need to just kind of move your neck from side to side. I now just feel the need to do some shoulder rolls. This is also a great way to just calm the nervous system when you feel triggered by any trauma or memories or any negative feelings or negative thoughts. Just do some nurturing touch like this. Just start anywhere. Start at the shoulders, work your way down, and then just kind of let your body tell you what it needs to do next. What are you feeling called to do right now? Maybe you're feeling called to rock back and forth. Maybe you're feeling the need to just stretch your neck to one side or the other. Just allow your body to do whatever it needs to do. Right there, my nervous system just downshifted, kicked in, and I had a sigh, a spontaneous breath. That is a sign that your nervous system is downshifting from sympathetic, which is the stress response, down to the parasympathetic response, which is relaxation. Signs like the sigh, the swallowing. I felt like I needed to swallow some extra salivation, a yawn. Yes, you might be tired, but a yawn is also a release. Could even be other releases, like a burp, a laugh, salivating, like I'm doing here, kind of moving the tongue around. That's also a sign that the nervous system is kicking in. Maybe a relaxation of your shoulders or your muscles just kind of feel more relaxed. Maybe you have, all of a sudden, you have more range of motion in your neck, and you're able to move your neck a little bit farther to the side. All of these things. And one other thing I love to do is called the calming crossover. So you're going to cross your arms, your hands like so, and clasp your fingers together, and then you're going to bring them into the chest. It kind of forces you to take a breath in and out. And then you're going to fold them back out, and then do it again. And then I just swallowed right there. So I know that my nervous system is kicking in. And then we're going to go back out. Another thing that I love to do is I love to go above the head with them, these calming crossovers. Up and in. Okay. Well, that is the end of our meditation. I hope that was helpful for you. And just know that you can always go back and replay that meditation anytime you need to. And the next step would be if you feel that you need someone to process your trauma with. I absolutely would recommend seeking a therapist in your area, or perhaps a coach, just depending on where you're at and what you're looking for. If you enjoyed this work and you would like to speak further with me and see if I might be a good fit for you as either a therapist if you live in the state of Florida, or as a coach if you live anywhere in the world, I would love to have a free consultation with you. And you can do that by going to the website that's on your screen right now, which is leahpetrucci.com. And you can schedule your free 30-minute consult with me and see if I might be a good fit for you. If you have some trauma that you are struggling to heal from, or just some health-related goals. Maybe you have some goals that you would like to work towards. Maybe they're health-related goals. Maybe they're life-related goals. Maybe they're relationship-related goals. Any of those things, I would be glad to speak with you further and see if there's any way that I can help you. I can also give referrals. If we end up speaking and I am not the right fit for whatever reason, I would like to help you find someone who is, so your time is never going to be wasted. So check that out if you feel so inclined to do so. And thank you so much for joining tonight's live stream. Next week, we are going to be continuing the series about meditation. This is the first in a series of meditation series. So if you feel like you need a little bit more guidance with how to meditate, and remember, meditation is not about clearing your mind. That is not what meditation is. Meditation is actually quite the opposite. It's being aware. It's being mindful. That mindfulness. It's being aware of your own thoughts and feelings and sensations and getting in touch with them, getting in tune with them, what they are, and maybe what that means to you. A lot of people think that, well, I'm not good at meditation because I just can't clear my mind. That's not what meditation is about. Yes, there are some meditations that are silent meditations, but you still are getting in touch with whatever thoughts are going through your mind or sensations. That's what the point of the silent meditations are, is just to have no other distractions and for you to just notice what's going on in your body and in your mind. I personally like the meditations with sound or the guided meditations. So I would love to continue offering these for you. I think that next week, the topic is meditations on support for addictions. I think that is the topic for next week. So I would love for you to join us and continue practicing meditation, this practice of meditation. That's it for me. I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you next time.